Let me just quickly change that. Get everything ready, 1 second. Okay. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Invictus Racing League for round number 10 here in Singapore. The game volume still seems a bit too loud. Let me just lower that. That should be better. Anyway, welcome to the stream. It is myself, Leon, here again today. This is the third to final round of the Invictus Equal Car count. I don't know about the performance, as we just saw Joseph hit the wall. I think it's Betrayer. We're going to double check. It is Betrayer who can win the championship today. He needs the gap between Betrayer and Humberstone. Humberstone is in second. Humbo is on 61. Meanwhile, Betrayer is on 81. So it's a 20-point gap. He needs to outscore. Yeah, he needs to outscore Humberstone by 5 points today, and he is crowned champion. And also needs to make sure that Wave Intel doesn't. Oh, can't see one. Needs to make sure that Wave Intel, sorry, cannot get 4 points on him. Otherwise, he can still win the championship. But it is looking like it will go in straight away. Welcome to the stream, SJD. Just get this stream shared out. Not done it yet. There will unfortunately be no podium interviews. I'm kind of a bit late streaming. I apologise for that. But just get all that sorted. There we go. Right, so everything's sorted. We are getting ready for this qualifying session that has already begun. Tony has actually just gone provisional pole with a 35.8 on the Hypersofts. There's quite a different array of tyres that people are using. For example, the Hypersofts on a few, Ultrasofts for 3, and the remaining others are on the softs. This track, street circuit, the longest street circuit on the calendar. Yeah. No, it's not actually. It's one of the only night races, I'll say that. But this track is the longest out of any other track, time-wise, because for some reason, even on a 50% or 100%, there is a lot more laps. It's an average lap around here is probably a 140. There are 31 laps. So it can be incredibly long, especially if the race is affected by wet weather, which I have been told there is none, so it won't be really long, but still 31 laps. It is, in my eyes, classed as an endurance race. Yeah, Betrayer currently sitting in 4th. People who can still win the championship, obviously Betrayer, Humberstone, Ben Musket also. I think that's it, yeah. So it's Betrayer who's winning, Humberstone, Wave Intel and Ben Musket are the only people who can win. I believe Ben Musket is Ben YJM. If someone can confirm, I'm not still 100% on a few of the people. Yellow flag in sector 3. A few people who have actually set a lap have varied. Obviously, the slowest people on the softs. The Never Miss has done quite well on the ultra softs, put himself into second. But Tony on the hyper softs, who's been a very good qualifier since I've been here. From what it looks like, he's a very good one lap specialist, but compared to his race, he's definitely one lap speciality comes into play. Let me have a look at his season performance. He has not had a podium, I don't believe. Let me check. In fact, yes, he has. He has had one, which was in Germany. So he's got the potential. I think he's had pole a few times, so yeah, he's definitely got the potential. Thank you, SJD, for confirming. Hopefully there's no issues with the audio, game volume, or my volume. Slightly new mic, so I may sound slightly deeper, which sounds a little bit more like my voice. But we'll see. People who haven't set a lap yet are Joseph, who I did see earlier on the stream when I first set it up. He did hit the wall and had to pit. He's back out though. Who else? White Fountain has to set a lap. NJ Coop, Rick, and Humbo Stone. There's another yellow flag, as Joseph's just gone 5th on the Hypersoft, so 36.9 just behind Kieran, also with a 36.9 on the Hypersofts. So with pretty much half the session left to go, Tony is on top by 8 tenths, but if Rick and Never Miss set lap times on the Hypers, then they'll be up there as well. The optimum strategy in my eyes would be the ultras to the softs. The hypers to the softs is possible. The softs at this track are very durable. Tyre temperature can be a problem if you're pushing too hard. Tyre wear is not a problem around this track. So yeah, I expect people to go for the ultra softs to softs, or softs to ultra softs maybe. No. Maybe softs to hyper softs. Hypersoft runners, which I think Tony will be starting on the hypersofts definitely, will struggle, especially at the start of the race. They'll find himself at the back of the grid because no one else will pit. So we'll go over GP1 Alex here, as he is starting a lap on the ultra soft tyre. As he's come through turn 1 and 2 now, and 3 actually. I've got the Singapore layout there. Coming through, I believe this is turn 4 onto the straight, could be turn 5. But down the main straight, the number 93 McLaren. I'm breaking now through the sector 1 split to that very nicely. Now coming through this middle sector, very tight corners, easy to hit the wall. If you brake too late suddenly. There is 23 corners to this track. G4 Alex currently sitting last out of the people who have set a lap, but that probably wasn't a competitive lap. Does lock up going into the hairpin. Someone has actually just improved on a lap. It was Humbo Stone. So now everyone has set a lap. Humbo's gone 10th on the softs. See what GP1 Alex can do as he breaks now down into turn 14. Taking that very nicely. Coming through the fast complex here of 15, 16 and 17, which will be the right-hander here. Never mind, it was 16 there. He's just come through 17. I was looking at the wrong thing. Now through 18 and 19, the tunnel section. I'm coming up through turn 21 and 20 and 21, sorry. And now coming up to turn 22 and 23, the fast left-hander. You can take a lot of curb on the inside, don't want to take the curb on the outside, and he does set 36.8. So he's only 2 tenths off another person on the same tyre. Yep, I found the performance. The softs last forever. Overheating is a real problem on the ultras and hypers, so it'll be interesting to see who mentions best. Yeah, especially the hypers. I have done one league race around here, and the hypers they last 4 or 5 laps, and that's probably stretching it. But yeah, the softs last. They could take them from lap 1 to the end. Anyone else close to finishing the lap, or on lap never miss? Might be starting one soon. Kieran is in the middle sector. Humbostone is down by half a second, but will he improve or will he box? He will box. Also, let's check the constructors. I've not actually gone through the constructors as well. Red Bull are winning so far with the 111 points, or 111. Second is Ferrari with 95. Third is Force India with 88. Fourth is Mercedes with 64. Sauber then with 43. Haas with 30.5. Renault with 27. Toro Rosso with 26. McLaren with 16, and Williams with 1 point. They got that 1 point in Belgium last week. Everyone in the chat who has been a follower of the F2 Equal League, put your predictions in the comments for your top 3 for this race. Mine will be GP1 Alex has actually gone improved. Mine will be GP1 Alex to win the race, as Kieran goes provisional pole with a 1:35.6 on the Hypersoft. Sorry for the black box, just my controller needs charging. But yeah, Kieran now provisional pole with a 35.6. That's a pretty good lap for the Hypersofts. So we can guarantee that the top 2 will be starting on the Hypersofts. But as it stands, I think it'll be Alex who will win this race, followed up by Betrayer, and then Rick. That's what I think the order will be for this race. This is more yellow flags in sector 2 and 3. Sector 3 yellow flags will most likely be other people, or people letting other people through in that final section, as they all slow each other down, getting ready for a lap. But on board with Kieran now. I think he's on. No, he's not on for another lap. He has got no ERS. There's another yellow flag. A lot of people are out now as we are getting to the penultimate end of this. And Never Miss has actually gone second with a 35.7. So a lot of people now, or not a lot of people, 3 people are now definitely going to be starting on the Hypersofts. Tony's come out. Is he about to set a lap? No, he's just starting one. GP1 Alex, with him, is down. He can't pit. Will he go? Will he start another lap? He hasn't got enough ERS. Yes, that is it for Alex's session. Currently first out of the Ultra Soft runners. He does pit. Joseph is currently... He has actually backed off, but he'll get another lap. Betrayer is in that first sector, just started his lap. MJ Coop, his teammate, is actually just ahead of Betrayer. Then where's Ben? Ben is also at the end of the first sector. Wave Intel has just started a lap. White Fountain also just started a lap. And Nick is actually coming through the final few corners. As he now comes through turns 21 there, now coming up to 22 and 23. What can he do? Can he beat GP1 Alex? No, he just put himself 6th though with a 1:36.8 on the Ultra Soft. Who was it who was close to finishing a lap? It was Never Miss. Can he go pole? No, he can't. Only 100th. He only improved by 100th, which puts him exactly on a 1:35.7. And that is it for his session. Tony is backed off, but we'll go for another one. Kieran's pit, so that's it for him. Where's Betrayer? I swear his teammates ahead. It is MJ Coop now coming around the final corner. What can he do on the Ultra Softs? It will be a 36.496, which is just behind GP1 Alex, and the Ultra Soft times are dropping rapidly. Betrayer, where is he? He's actually pit. Wow, championship leader, I think, is hoping to start outside the top 10. Someone did just improve on a lap and go further up, and I couldn't catch who it was. I think it was Nick. No, I already saw his lap. I don't know who it was then. Joseph has just started his final lap. Wave Intel has come around the final corner. What can he do? He's a championship contender. It's a 35.7 on the Ultra Softs. Wow. Only just less than 1.5 tenths behind Kieran, and Kieran's on the Hypersofts. That is a very impressive lap. Tony's up on his time. Ben, I don't know. MJ Coupe, I think, is backed off. And Nick did not improve, I do not think. Oh, he did slightly, but not enough. So that's it for him. Joseph now is up slightly as well. Oh, well, first went really good there. Humberstone is also in that middle sector with him. Who's closest to finishing a lap? I think it's Tony. Tony's up by 4.5 tenths. So this will put him on for a 35.3. As he comes through the complex final few corners, turn 19 and 20. Oh, turn 18 and 19, sorry, of the tunnel. 20 and 21 now. He is on course for provisional pole. He has run out of VRS already, so we'll see what happens. He goes on the final corner. What will it be? It will be a 35.0. Battered the competition. And that is a 5.5 tenth gap to Kieran behind. Wave Intel is now down. What can Joseph do? He's pit. Humberstone invalidates. And he would have only gone 12th. And yeah, that's it for qualifying. So yeah, Tony is on pole, Kieran is second. I'll tell you once it loads back. So Tony is on pole, Kieran is in second. Tony with a 5.5 tenth gap to second place. In third is Never Miss. Fourth, Wave Intel. A very good lap there on the Ultra Softs. In fifth is Ben. Sixth is Alex. Seventh is MJ Coupe. Eighth is Rick. Ninth is Nick. 10th is White Fountain. 11th is Joseph. 12th is Betrayer, Championship leader. And 13th is Humberstone. So anyone in the chat, was that a qualifying that you predicted or thought would happen, or anyone who stood out? Sorry for the typing, just give it a message. But yeah, the formation lap will begin, and then we can talk about what tyres the people outside the top 10 are on, since obviously everyone inside the top 10 will have to start on the tyre that they started on. Yeah, also Humbo, yeah, I forgot about Humbo. His qualifying lap would have only put him, I think it was 12th, which for Humbo, starting pretty much, well, he's starting last, but starting pretty much last is still not that good. I've got the little weights before the race. SJD, since you're the only person I think active in the chat, since you've looked at qualifying, well, obviously you've looked at qualifying, who do you want to change your top 3 prediction, or are you going to keep it with Never Miss, like for the top 2, and maybe Tony up there also? the formation that will begin under the lights of Singapore. And the Toro also leads everyone away. So, Joseph and Petraeus started on the ultra softs, and Humberstone started on the softs. So, Humber's going for a very risky strategy, to say the least. Yeah, safety car could. I was commentating over early race yesterday, and there was a safety car on lap 1, so that's promising, I guess, for the game. But the safety car is pretty rare, to say the least. These guys get ready. Oh, Tony. That is something he doesn't really want to do in the race. He's now been disqualified for going too slow, I'm going to guess. Oh, now Kieran's hit the wall. Well, these drivers are making some mistakes on the formation lap. Hopefully these mistakes don't carry over to the actual race. So as Kieran now leads the field through the final few corners, Tony, White Fountain, Petraeus and Humberstone will be there waiting for them. There they all are. So as everyone lines up now, ready and waiting for the Singapore Grand Prix to begin. We'll be able to go on board from Tony's POV when possible. So we've got 1, we've got 2, 3, 4 and 5 red lights. And away we go for the Singapore Grand Prix. It looked like Tony got off to a pretty good start. Now coming down into turn 1, he's actually lost a few positions. Kieran now down the inside. It's a pretty good start from Kieran there. Also never missing the background, done very well. Since everyone seems to have kept it clean. Everyone really clean through turn 1 and 2 and 3 obviously. Just nice to see. There's a Red Bull led down the inside. That is Petraeus down the inside of Joseph. And now Petraeus now up into 11th already. And then we're going to go for a move down this straight. No, there's not. Never misses. Having a look down the inside of Kieran, doesn't get it. Cycle position changes. Wave Intel, not the best start from him there in the Ferrari. MJ Coupe and GP1 Alex going side by side for the middle sector. Very dangerous, but I think that was GP1 Alex getting the move in the end. Oh, like some rear tyre problems already for the drivers, as Tony's already pulled a 1.4 second lead. MJ Coupe comes awfully close to the wall. Let's go back on board with Ben, who is closing in on Never Miss. I'm sure he won't mind. Kieran, I think, has got problems off the start. He seems to be not being able to keep the back end of his car straight, which is a side effect of the Ultra Softs and the Hypers, but obviously it happens to the Hyper Softs a lot earlier than the Ultras. So Tony finishes lap 1 with already a 2.1 second lead, which is just what he wants. Now Never Miss when they go down the inside. Ooh, slight contact there with Kieran, but nothing too awful. Kieran is really struggling in that Sauber. Never Miss now down the inside, some slight side pod contact, there we go, I forgot my words there. And now down the straight, Wave Intel has passed Ben. What can Wave Intel do here? Can he go around the outside maybe? Of Never Miss? He's got around the outside, but they get a triple overtake done. He's now down the inside of Kieran. No, he can't get the triple overtake done. Kieran forces him wide, and Never Miss is now going to try and repass Wave Intel. But Wave Intel is going to has got a toe off Kieran. Oh, Never Miss backs out, and Ben's now there. Down the inside of Wave Intel. And he's now got the move. Wave Intel slightly forced wide. Wave Intel back down the inside. And now Never Miss and Ben are going at it. What scenes here at the Singapore Grand Prix at the start of this race. We have got a Kieran supporter in the chat, and Kieran's doing very well to keep this position from more than a dozen drivers, more than half a dozen drivers on his tail. I see all them cars flying past. Tony has pulled a whopping lead already of 5.5 seconds, which is unbelievable. But it almost seems like Wave Intel's pushing Kieran. Kieran's really struggling on the back end, but he's going to keep going. And who's that? That's Ben around the outside. Ben looks like he's got wing damage though. And now Ben's losing a bunch of position. And Mrs. lost on the straight. And there's a massive crash. Oh, there was a massive crash down the straight. Never Miss, lost the back end. Ben got caught up in it as well. Wave Intel down the side of Kieran again. Now Wave Intel, Kieran. Oh, that was a very close squeeze. But there's Nick down the inside of his teammate potentially. Oh, Wave Intel round the outside. He's got so much more grip than Kieran. And Kieran's off. He's now dropped down to 6, and Hypersofts have died for him. Just simply died. But on lap 3, Tony's pulled 8.4 seconds. He's going to start losing it soon, because them Hypersofts are already going to be worn. So he may pit. Softs can make it easily. Back in the switchback, Betrayer is up into 7th. Wave Intel is in 2nd, so as it stands, he will not win the championship. But here comes Betrayer on Kieran. I don't think Kieran's going to be able to do much here. No, he kind of gives that position up straight away. Oh, Betrayer with a snap of oversteer. Ah, Never Miss is the first retirement. He did get caught up in that collision on the straight. He was actually the person who caused it after spinning. So he is the first retiree of this race. Very unfortunate. I'm surprised it didn't cause a safety car. But, hey-o. Yeah, Wave Intel's catching Tony a array of knots here. 1.7 seconds that lap. Oh, actually, it's more than that. 2 seconds over to Kieran. Oh, he's just pitting. Yeah, Hypers have died. Tony may decide to pit on this lap. Oh, it's a hectic start to the race, not gonna lie. Kieran to win, I'll put money on it. Kieran's actually picked for Ultra Softs. So he's going for the 2-stop. Which isn't the best strategy. The 1-stop is definitely quicker. So that's gonna hamper his race as well as he hits the wall quite hard on the outside there. There's White Fountain on the back of GP1 Alex, who is just within a second of Nick. Both Ferrari's 2nd and 3rd, which is very good for their constructors fight with Red Bull. Has Tony stayed out? No, Tony is pitting, so that gap came down rapidly, but Tony does pit and will get the undercut indefinitely. So Wave Intel sets the fastest lap as they start lap number 5 of 31. And Tony will pit for a set of Ultra Soft. He's not going for the 1-stop strategy. So that may actually ruin his own race there. The Softs can make it. But I guess he hasn't got faith in the softs. And who's that? Humbo and Joseph, the Mercedes pair going at it. Humbo needs to pass Joseph pretty quickly to stay in the championship fight. And he has got the move done, and Joseph isn't going to fight that one. Okay, cheesy. People are already starting to separate slightly. We have got White Fountain on the back of GP1 Alex though. Or trying to stick within a second at least. White Fountain seems to be slightly struggling with understeer, but dirty air in that final sector, not the greatest thing in the world, so that will slow him down. He's still got DRS on Nick. White Fountain is also there in the background. But this is the guy to, or the battle to watch. It's not really a battle, but these two are the closest cars. Now GP1 Alex is actually closing up a lot. Nick's now replacing him on the podium. You seem to be changing your predictions quite rapidly. But yeah, I think Tony might be alright. He might still get a podium, but the 2-stop is obviously a lot slower than the 1-stop. And there's a little flag. Kieran is out. I didn't even notice. Kieran has retired. I'm sorry I didn't catch that. Unfortunately for him, he had a very good start as well. But after that one, his tyres just died because he was on the Hypersofts. Lost a few positions, got caught up in a few. He didn't get caught up in a few collisions, but his tyres had died, and yeah, I think. Well, you've lost your money. Yeah, you have. Quite early as well. It's only lap 6. Oh, so it looks like MJ Cooper's now retired in Sector 2. It was behind Ben. So I don't know. Not much happening. I'm on board with Ben there. No, this game is broken. I don't think the safety car is actually going to happen. Alex now a lot closer to Nick. Nick is probably keeping a relatively safe gap to wave in, tell his teammates so he doesn't get dirty air. Prix on the back of White Fountain, which will help him in the championship run. If we look at the championship right now, Ben is looking out of it. Ben at this point will be out of the championship. Has Prix around the outside? No, I think he was looking for it, but yeah, but Ben is going to virtually be out of the championship fight, which is unfortunate, but it just happened. Wave Intel will probably be ahead of Humbo. Humbo's currently in 7th. But just Wave Intel we have to look at for now. I believe 5th place is 6 points. Oh, as White Fountain runs wide out the final corner, and here comes Prix down the inside of turn 1. It should be easy for him, and he's made it easy. And that is An easy overtake for him up into P4, which helps him in the championship once again. P4 now, I believe, gets you 7 points. Yeah, just get you 7 points, which will put Betrayer on 88. Wave Intel will be on 66. So Wave Intel is just in the championship fight. Still 20 plus 20 laps to go. So anything can happen. Alex not able to pass Nick. Nick seems to be struggling now to keep up with Wave Intel. You may be listening to the stream, you never know, you might know about the situation in the championship. I will keep updating it if anything does change. But right now, nothing does need changing. GP1 Alex a lot closer to Nick this time. A little bit of a poor exit though. He will have DRS, but I don't think he'll get him. He'll close up, he'll close up, he'll close up, he'll close up, but it's just too far behind. Yeah, that's a good point. Humbo is currently sitting 20 points behind, and at this rate, he does get 4 points, which will put him on 65. Our Betrayer is on 88, so he'll still be in the championship fight, but yeah, if you just pass Rick, then it does help him a lot. From GP1 Alex and Nick got really close there. Nick got actually pretty close to Wave Intel as well, so I don't know what happened there. But yeah, ultra soft tyres will start to go soon. Who were the first of the drivers to pit? Not Wave Intel. Nick, nope. And GP1 Alex does though. So he's going for the undercut. He will definitely be pitting for softs. White Fountain does also pit. Zero flag set to 2. Oh, it's Joseph. He's hit the wall quite hard there in his Mercedes. Lost his entire front wing. It's just his nose now that's just sticking out. I think that's the same corner where he binned it in qualifying as well. Unfortunate for the Mercedes driver, not much luck. Yeah, what happened, MJ Cooper? Did you get caught up in the incident down the straight? Down the main straight with Never Miss? As it's gone back on board with the battle for 4th place. Humbo still trying to pass Rick, and there's Tony on a set of ultra softs, and yeah, he's about 12 seconds off the lead, and he will have to pit in 4 or 5 laps time, and Joseph does pit, and he is another retiree. Yeah, I saw that, he spun on the straight. Unfortunate. Was he 4 cars? I know he hit Ben, he hit you. Who else did he hit? Did he hit Kieran? Or was Kieran still... I think Kieran was still ahead at that point. Oh, Betrayer does pit. Championship leader pits. Now, where is GP1 Alex in comparison? No, wait, no, Betrayer was a few seconds behind, weren't he? And there goes GP1 Alex. White Fountain will come out in 7th place. Well, not come out in 7th place, that was wrong. And Tony's passed Tumbo Stone. So Tony on them Ultra Softs has eventually got the move done. They avoided it. Yeah, this two-stop strategy from Tony's not really paying off. He is currently 15 seconds behind the leader. Oh, Humbo. 15 seconds behind the leader. And he has to pit in 4 or 5 laps time with them. So yeah, right now there's no battles, but Nick has just pit. Now where will he come out in comparison to GP1 Alex? So GP1 Alex now round the final corner. Where's Nick? It's going to be quite close between the pair of them, I think, but the undercut from Alex has worked to perfection. And Nick is out quite far behind. Nick came out 3.5 seconds behind him. Comes to 4 seconds, which shows that Wave Intel, when he does pit, will come out behind GP1 Alex as well, and GP1 Alex at some point will take the lead of this race. Unfortunately, there is no battles at the moment. Hopefully another battle can check it out at Stewart's office. White Fountain almost within DRS range of Betrayer. Can't really say where Betrayer is and what we'll do to the championship because there's still 3 people who haven't pit yet. So. But Wave Intel is pitting now. He's been the leader for a few laps and he will come out around about Nick. And yeah, Alex passes Wave Intel up into the provisional lead. And Wave Intel is 3 seconds behind. Wow. The undercut is very powerful at this circuit, especially if you can get the softs warmed up. Tumbo Stone is also closing in on Tony, but also we've got White Fountain and Betrayer battling. I won't go on board with White Fountain since he has the engine revving glitch. Yeah, Alex is net P1, Wave Intel will be net P2. Betrayer, no, not Betrayer, Nick P3. And then it will be Betrayer in 4th, who is actually 2 seconds behind Nick. But yeah, Wave Intel actually dropping to net P2, putting down to 10 points for the race. Let's have a look. So Prix will still get 7 points, which put him on 88. Wave Intel will now get 10, so that puts him on 64. Yeah, Wave Intel will be having a gap of 24, so which is 2 race wins. Which doesn't rule him out because he has got more wins, but he would have to win both races for Prix not to score any points. Also, Humbo, he'll come out probably 9th, which will not rule him, or actually, yeah, it will rule him out of the championship. I think Humbo's championship run is going to end here today. Ben's is going to end as well. Fortunate for him. Quite fancy now around the outside. Oh, a betrayer, slightly shoved off the track, but was aggressive but fair, or also known as hard but fair racing. Quite fast, still struggling to pass him. Wave Intel now on the back of GP1 Alex to P3. This is actually for net P1. So, yeah, this could get actually pretty interesting because I don't know about penalties yet, but we are coming to the halfway stage of this race. With these two battling, it may invite Nick in. But Wave Intel needs to pass him because the championship isn't on the line yet, but it will help him slightly, which he probably needs all the help he can get to win the championship, since that he is quite far behind. But it is still possible. I don't think Prix will win the championship today. I think it will go to the penultimate round, which is in USA, and the finale is in Brazil in 2 weeks' time. I believe it's 2 weeks' time, not too sure. And Wave Intel around the outside. I wasn't actually looking, and GP Alex just wasn't able to do anything. Wave Intel did break later. White Fountain's also passed Betrayer into the corner, and yes, he has. So that's not worked to Betrayer's favour both ways. One moment, Betrayer was sitting in net P4 and Wave Intel net P2. Now Wave Intel is net P1, and Betrayer is now net P5. Not what he wanted at all. Looking very good for Ferrari and the constructors, yeah. 1-3 at the moment, which gives them 18 points. Meanwhile, Red Bull are going to get 6. So that's a 12-point improvement on the current gap, which is 16. So going into USA at this rate, the gap will be four points. Don't know why that took my mind a few minutes to calculate, but yeah. 4 points is the gap at the current stage. Right, fastest down the back of Nick though. Yeah, they've got a pretty good partnership in the Ferrari. They could possibly push for the constructors, not being biased towards them. I'm just saying. And White Fountain closing on Nick Betrayer's also there in the background, so could see a three-way battle forming here. So White Fountain now going for the final corner. Humbo and Tony going to battle also, as well as Alex and Wave Into. A lot of battles. We're going to go with a battle for P3. Oh, it's actually not for P3, it's for net P3. As White Fountain closes up onto the back of that Ferrari. And we'll be hoping to get the move done soon. Nothing's happened there down the main straight. Nick able to keep the move pretty comfortably. Sorry for the silence there, I was just looking at something else on my other monitor. Humbo closing in on Tony. Oh yeah, Tony's been on them for 12 laps as he runs wide at the hairpin. I think he is struggling. He will have to pit. Where will he come out? Behind Rick. So yeah, he'll be down in 8th unless Humbo just pass him. 10 people watching, thank you guys. I think that is a record for since I've been commentating in IRL. Thank you. There's a few battles to go through here. Got this three-way battle here, also the battle for the net, or not the net lead, provisional lead. Yeah, it is what you can ask for, and that is Tony who is pitting. Yeah, 12 laps on the Ultra Softs is probably their limit. And he will end up coming out the pits in last. So the grid now is starting to reform back into its normal self. Invictus going to catch Humbo soon. Who's ours? Nick running wide. Yeah, Humbo's going to find himself in last as well, which is definitely going to rule him out of the championship. And there's been a yellow flag and Tony's out. Yeah, I didn't expect him to retire. He still definitely had. He was on the cards for points, but okay. Don't have much choice in if I had to try something different. On the back, yeah. I thought if you had the pay, you'd be alright, but I guess it's not really paid off. You know, down to 8 drivers. Still a three-way battle here. Betrayer's starting to back off, though. Well, not back off, but fall off. But penalties will come into the mix. Definitely. It's really happening though. White Fountain since he was sitting behind, waiting for something to happen. Oh, what was that waving to? Oh, he did try going down the inside of Humbo. So it's actually just going to slow him down. And now GP1 Alex is within a second, so Humbo Stone is actually playing a big role in the championship. I think he's doing this on purpose, knowing that Wave Intel can still win the championship, and I think Humbo's sacrificing himself here. I think in his mindset is, if I can't win the championship, then I may as well ruin someone else's chance and stop them from winning the championship. So now it's a three-way battle for the lead. Humbo does have to pit. Oh, sorry for the pedal. Yeah, Humbo does have to pit. Then Tigers can go to the end, but obviously we'll get disqualified. So obviously they can't last forever. It is Alex's opportunity. Is Wave Intel around the outside of Humbo. Humbo breaks late. This is really slowing Wave Intel down. Is he going to try and go around the outside now? Humbo will probably fight this. Alex is there. It's really slowing Wave Intel up, and now it is actually slowing Alex up, which is bringing Nick back into this. Nick has caught a little bit this lap, and will probably continue catching until Humbo's overtaken. Yep, Wave Intel not able to get it again. And that is Humbo now eventually pitting, which actually came to a surprise. I thought he might have held Wave Intel a little bit more, but he hasn't. And we'll come out in 8th. Ooh, a little bit wide there from GP Alex. He is, or GP1 Alex, sorry, he's going to be pushing for this race win. Also, as I said, it will come down to penalties. There are still 10 laps to go in this race. We have only completed 2/3. So if you think about it, isn't that much, but it is if you do think about it. Yeah, GP1 Alex now struggling to keep up with Wave Intel, and the other battle seems to be dying off as well, which is unfortunate. Wave Intel now sets the fastest lap on the softs, so it shows that he was actually probably hiding that pace. White Fountain's still not able to do anything yet. If anyone has got any questions or would like to say anything, feel free. Nothing is happening. Sorry for the lesser commentary, but when there is kind of nothing to commentate on, which is a little bit hard, except for two cars that are kind of going round, keeping the same distance to each other. White Panther with DRS again, still well too far away for anything to happen though. White Panther's still closing up, but can't get anything done. He hasn't got the straight line speed compared to Nick. Nick seems to be doing very well to hold out P3. Which is what he needs to do. As I said, anyone in the chat, SJD, anyone else, feel free to comment if you do want to say anything, because when there's nothing going on in the race except for one thing that, well, if there isn't much going on in the race, better to talk to people who are on the stream. Better to sit there silent. White Panther seems to be losing a lot of his time through that final sector. Dirty Air is quite a big problem there. This is probably why he's getting the poor exit every time. Betrayer seems to be dropping back a little bit. I don't think this is definitely not going to be the race where he wins the championship, to say the least. But this will set him up nicely for USA. Humbo is 3.3. I think he'll get Rick. Ben is on older tyres, but Humbo does seem to be lacking 2.5 seconds a lap. He might, but also you have to think about towards the end of the race, them ultra softs are going to die out, so. Yeah, I think he'll get him just. I think he'll get him just. Yeah, he is actually. He's on 90%, which is probably well too much. He's not actually going in overtake down the main straight. Or, yeah, down the main straight. I don't get why. Because that is kind of what he needs to pass. There's nowhere else unless Nick makes a mistake where he can overtake. Yeah, as I said, he seems to be just saving it too much. Now the final sector, where dirty air is seriously going to affect you. This is now where he's losing all of his time, and he isn't actually pushing with his ERS. But when I found out when I did a league race, if you do decide to try and push on the softs, the tyres do start to try and overheat. So he goes into hot lap, oh not hot lap, overtake. He's in overtake now. Will he actually go for it? Oh no, he sits behind. He probably should have gone for it there. He should probably have gone for it, but he seems to be pushing a bit more of his ERS. He's in high now, which is higher than what he was on before. Yeah, maybe he did. Oh no, he's gone back to saving again. I don't know why he saves in that final sector. You don't really want to be saving there. You kind of want to be burning because it's really slow speed corners. You want to try and get the most out of your exits and your power. Yeah, he's changing it. Well, in the first sector here, he is changing it between Rich and Overtake. I just think at some point, he does need to go for a lunge. Because otherwise he may as well just sit behind him. Because there's no point trying to go for an overtake if you're just going to sit back every lap and hope that you get him on the straight. You need to try and force him into an error. Oh, sorry if you heard that. Yeah, as I said, you need to force him into an error. And right now, he isn't doing that. As you see again here, he is saving in that final sector, which I don't see why. It's not a sector where you need to save. Again, here he gets close. He's actually not changed his ERS this time. But yeah, he did get Rick. I think he'll get Ben as well. Oh, what happened there? I didn't even notice. He's gone for a move on Nick, and he's giving it back. He went for a lunge and he overshot the corner. So yeah, I think he is actually listening to us. Yeah, I missed it. I was looking away. I was looking away for a second. Came back and he'd overshot the corner. Betrayer's now closing in. I think not Betrayer, White Fountain is now probably in the mood to go for it. He could enter this battle towards the end of the race, yeah. You're quite right. A three-way battle. Won't affect the championship. Oh, it will. Let me check. If Betrayer gets third. No, it won't matter. If Betrayer gets third, Alex has to win. Yeah, Alex has to win if Betrayer gets third. And he's too far back this time, definitely. Oh yeah, Humbo on Ben. Humbo should make it pretty easy though. He seems to be struggling to type Humbo's name there. Oh, back on board. White Fountain is a lot closer. Betrayer seems to have dropped back a little bit. If White Fountain can keep this close, then he may be able to get him down that straight. He had a look. Oh, what happened there? A bit of decent there between White Fountain and Nick. White Fountain now going to try it around the outside. Still can't get it. Will he go down the inside here? I think he will. No, he won't. Oh yeah, Humbo did get Benji, sorry about that. I was probably focusing on the battle for a higher position. So yeah, Humbo, I guess position up into 6th, but penalties. I don't think he'll get 3 seconds away from Ben. Meanwhile, back on board with this battle. Wave Intel is about to start the final lap. Race win still not guaranteed. Betrayer may still win the championship, but it will come down to penalties to see if he'll win it. It's a good recovery. He's able to pull back a P6, yeah. If it stays like it is right now, though, Humbo and Wave Intel can still win the championship. Ben cannot. So, Ben cannot win the championship. Wave Intel and Humbo still can, but that would require Betrayer to DNF, I think, both times. Or get like 1 point, which is probably not going to happen. But anyway, on board with Wave Intel as he's coming through the set 2, or pretty much the end of set 2 now. Pretty good race for him, to be honest. Pitted the latest out of the soft runners, so he's now got the freshest tyre towards the end of the race, which is now. Has got a 1.7 second lead to Alex. It will come down to penalties. Yeah, he may still win this championship fight, he may not. Well, that was GP1 Heights getting incredibly close to the wall there. But anyway, Wave Intel crew for the final few corners now will cross the line in first, but will he keep first? So here comes Wave Intel, crosses the line, and he does win the Singapore Grand Prix. So the championship is not going to be won today. Nick will cross the line third, and he doesn't get it. Betray gets fourth, White Fountain in third. Nick drops to fifth on penalties. Humbo will, I think, get sixth. Yes, he does get sixth, and that is it. So, I think, so we've got fourth place, so 7 points. That's 88. Wave Intel is on 66, so there's a gap of 22 there. Can just about win it. Humbo gets 5 points. So he's also on 66. So Humbo and Wave Intel both on the same amount of points, 22 behind Betrayer, and that is your top three. Unfortunately, I can't do podium interviews, and I do have to dash off now. Hopefully that's been a good commentary for me. Pretty good race, had some boring parts. Only a few drivers remained in the race. May as well go for the grid. Wave Intel was your winner. GP1 Alex was second. White Fountain third. Betrayer fourth. Nick in fifth. Sixth Humbo. Seventh Ben. Eighth Rick. And your DNFs for the race was Tony, Joseph, MJ Coop, Kieran, and Never Miss. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Championship finale is in 2 weeks' time. USA, the penultimate round, but the championship will most likely be settled, will be next week. And for F2, I will see you next week.